today on the G3 Boardroom, we are going to be reviewing Champions of Word Wrestling. It's kind of an interesting card game where you have cards in your hand and cards on the board here, and you try to, from your hand, make new words. And it's a lot more difficult than you think, and the game is not as fast as you think. I played this game where it's been like an hour and a half. I've played this game where it's been like 10 minutes. You play until all players, the last player who can play a word wins. Like when we did our playthrough, like halfway through, I looked at my hand. I couldn't come up with a word. I probably could have dropped something off or rearranged, but I didn't think of that, so I was out. Then these two played like another.
That's quitter
for like a while.
I think you made it more than halfway. I mean, when it comes down to two players, the game goes faster, of course. But
yeah, that's true. There's not. I mean, this is the rules for the game. It's pretty
light.
Yeah, pretty light. Yeah. But yet it can go for a while, and it takes some thought. Yeah. And you have to know your words. It's kind of like playing Scrabble or something. The more fluent you are, the better you're going to do. There's, like I said, there's a couple different things you can do to play the game. You can play a card up to 2 cards out of your hand. You can rearrange the cards. You can just discard a card, or you can play your card like on top of another.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can either play it in between or on top of. So, very, very simple game.
Yeah. Very enjoyable, though. I did like it. And now I get why it's called Word Wrestling, because it's almost like a match. At one point, you were saying, I got him on the ropes. Beating him up, but he still comes back.
and I kept putting out big words, and Bob kept coming up with ways to get out of them. Well played indeed, Bob. I think I had easier cards to work with than you did. I would say this about this game. Okay, the card's going to get a lot of play, but I don't think you should sleeve them. I thought this would be very good for a beginning speller and a beginning reader to come up with different words to spell. That would be helpful. My wife is a teacher, and I could see her using this to teach some words and have some fun doing it at the same time. I like that quite a bit. The thing that was lost on me, if it's Champions of Word Wrestling, I would think they could have made it. It could have been a little bit more cutesy if they used all wrestling terms for these things. Like instead of replace, have like suplex. They could have leaned a little bit into the wrestling thing to give it a. There's wrestling pictures on here, but they could have leaned a little more into the wrestling thing to make it a little bit more just cute.
Are those moves trademarked by the WWE?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, I can give you a suplex right now.
I think they've probably done it.
And the only one that's going to sue me is your wife. Yeah. But I think they could have leaned into that a little more. It would have made it a little more cutesy, and it would have brought it up a little bit differently. Yeah. I do think the idea you had about we should all be branded wrestlers and talk that way.
Play as a wrestler.
It would have been a little bit more cute. Even the wild cards, pile driver or something like that would have been a little bit different.
But I was going to say, there's a lot of ways you can just kind of modify it on your own. Like earlier on in the game, I said you can make it a drinking game. You could also say
not gonna make it very far through it, but
no. But like if you as a party game, you could say if you spell like an animal, you have to make that animal's noise or something like that. Just add things up to make it a little goofier, a little funner.
Yeah. The hardest part of the game is that you're not supposed to play any words twice. And once you get over an hour into a game, that it starts to become a little bit difficult to remember. Yeah. We had suggested in our playthrough maybe someone could type in a Word document every word that you play. Then you can do a search if you have a question. I don't know how feasible that is. When the game is short, it's not a problem. But if the game is long, it's going to get.
I think that you're absolutely right. That was that was the most challenging thing about this game is we get to a point and we're all looking at each other like, okay, was it played? Was it not? And I'm certain that we played words twice that we shouldn't have, and I'm certain that there are ones we're looking at that are like, I'm not going to play this because it's been played, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
And so keeping track of it would probably be preferable. We did no such thing. We're incapable of thinking in advance, and therefore we didn't have that.
You'd have to have like a monitor with a huge board.
Right.
Or a big TV screen with all the words.
What I like about this game is it's sort of like Scrabble without the board. It's... And I don't like comparing games that people put a lot of time and effort into designing just to instantly compare it to a different game. This game has a lot of different mechanics, but
It's not like Scrabble. It's upwards.
more like
It's a lot like upwards because you're stacking and changing.
Modification. You can have one word that goes that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first started playing it, the people I was playing it with, they like automatically assumed you could do that. I'm like,
Oh, see, they were playing Scrabble.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking earlier that it would be nice to have more points for a word that was longer. The game is played until everyone, the last person who can make a word.
Yeah.
But if you've got one person that's playing all these, really long, complex words, and one person's, like cat and dog and bye.
But that kind of balances it out because as a kid, I remember playing Boggle with my sister, who was a teacher.
Oh, okay.
She would wipe the floor with it all the time.
Yeah, it's true. So it's good that there's. Then
You
it's
know
good
who
that
you
there's
are if you watch this.
I was thinking that they should have some way where you score more for longer words, but maybe that's
But
something
there's no
that
scoring.
they figure.
There's no scoring in the game.
Right.
right.
It would have to be added, and maybe that's why they don't, because like Bob said, it really levels the playing field.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, you could do that like as a house rule again, so the game ends at a certain, rather quickly rather than dragging on
Or
while
if you're
somebody
playing
sits
with
on the
people that are,
sidelines.
you're playing with a bunch of people that have the same vocabulary,
Yeah.
as you. But whatever. That's I also don't like to change a bunch of people's games.
Sure.
I think as designed, I think the game's a lot of fun.
It's fun.
And I think it as designed, it really opens it up to a wide variety of people. I think if you start making changes, you start limiting it too much.
Yeah.
But like I said, I do think for the younger player, maybe even a kid who's just you're not doing beginning word letter sounds with this, but you definitely get some spelling practice in there, things like that, and increase someone's vocabulary. I think it's a useful tool for that.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
I should say the designer of this game reached out to me on social media. I'd love you to play my game and to get your thoughts. I just want to put that out there. This isn't, anything that we're paid for. You did send us a free copy of the game, which I'm very appreciative of.
Thank you. Yeah.
But
Do you remember his name?
Designer man.
I'm gonna put the name of the company in the comments.
Okay. Yeah,
Because I don't want to. I think I remember it, but I don't want to get it wrong.
Okay.
But anyways, I think that if we would have hated the game, we probably wouldn't have mentioned that we got it from the designer. But we just kind of want people to know, because I'm always a little bit,
Full disclosure.
Yeah, I feel a little bit weird sometimes when I review a game positively that that I got for free, because I think people think that, well, that's why they reviewed it positively. But
No.
that's not the case.
No, there's fun to be had here. I enjoyed it. And,
Definitely.
I was the determined winner, so that makes it more enjoyable as well.
It actually kind of sucked for me because I was knocked out pretty early. These guys played for a little while, but it was still fun to watch, and I was kind of on my phone helping them out with the words every once in a while.
The only other thing I would point out about this game is I feel like it does need a timer.
Yeah.
A timer for each person.
Maybe not if you're playing with younger people, but if you're playing with the three yabos such as us, it does need a timer.
A 3-person chess clock.
Yeah.
Because you would
Yeah.
have like 10 minutes to make your moves for the whole game, and
I
one
think-
turn you might do it in 5 seconds, another turn you might take 45.
Right.
So
Right. I think that would sharpen it up a little.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I mean,
But as
maybe
it is,
part of
it's
it
great.
is thinking. Let someone cook.
No.
Let them think. About their,
No.
Well, I mean, that's just another way to, you have a game that's kind of modifiable to some
Yeah.
degree, if that's a word.
I guess, yeah. And they might have play tested it that way.
Yeah.
And it's like, it just takes away because this person, was a smarter person, but they're not good against a timer. So, maybe, I don't know. I like that. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Like I said, for certain groups. I don't think I would, my daughter's 12, I don't think I would have a timer for her playing this, but I would definitely have a timer for us.
Us three, yeah.
Especially if you're doing a playthrough that goes
An hour.
a while. Yeah.
It did go a minute.
So if you enjoyed our review, if you enjoyed this game, if you ever played this game, please let us know in the comments. And, go ahead and click that like button or give us a subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.